Welcome back to WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. There are 3 ways to ask your questions: email, Twitter, or you can visit the Yes Network Facebook page. So it's that time, Joe, where the fans get to reach out to you, ask a few questions. We'll start with Ron Napoli from Howell, New Jersey. He said via email, "Hi, Joe. Great job with the Yankees."
Thanks, Ron.
Always nice starting off with a compliment there. Do you think the traditional stirrup socks will ever come back to baseball? Because he really misses them.
You know, I used to wear them all the time as a player, but I don't think they're coming back. I think with the way that the players wear the socks now, I think it's more comfortable. And I was a person that had plantar fasciitis, and the stirrups dug right into that spot. So I actually had to go to socks just so my feet didn't hurt so bad.
Would you do it for one day?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I used to love to wear it, and I was a guy that would show part of the stirrup and the stripes in the stirrups, but it's kind of old school now.
Well, now you can go with the socks with the stirrup already in them.
Yeah, I mean, you can do, but that doesn't quite look as good as the stirrups.
Agreed. We'll get to question number 2. Anthony via email. What's your favorite Italian Sunday dinner to go home to after a day game in New York?
Wow. Probably risotto and chicken has always been my favorite. And, you know, Italian food, there's a lot of things that I like, but it would probably be, my grandma always made that for Sundays when we were kids, and I always look forward to it.
The real question here is, who's doing the cooking there, you or your wife?
We both do. We both like to cook. I like to cook a lot. I don't do a lot during the season, but the off season, I like to go to the store every day and cook some.
Annette from Scranton, Pennsylvania wrote via email, "Dear Joe, I believe that Robbie Cano was unfairly booed in Kansas City during that home run derby. Were you ever booed as a player, and did it ever bother you?"
Oh, if you're a Yankee and you go to Boston, you're booed. I mean, that's the bottom line. And if you were a Cub, which I was, and you went to St. Louis, there was a good chance you were going to be booed. But yeah, it really, you learn to tune that out. And you realize people, a lot of times it's not personal. They're just, in a sense, cheering for their own club by booing you.
On the road, though, is it almost a sense of pride? Generally, if they're booing you, you're doing something good.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about boos on the road are really cheers, in a sense, because they don't want you to beat them. And we have a lot of guys on our team that are booed on the road.
Who do you think gets booed the worst on the road?
It's probably been Alex over the years because of all the damage that he's done in the course of his career. And he seems to be a lightning rod all the time. But, you know, I think players deep down inside kind of laugh at it and probably like it because they're really cheers.
Last but certainly not least, Karen via Twitter asks, "My softball coach says that I need to keep my head in while batting and my bat is back too far. Do you have any more tips that can help me?"
Well, I think that obviously you can slow things down when you work on a tee and you do soft toss, and you can work on those things. And I also think, you know, Kevin Long talks about, you know, staying tight in. That's keeping your arms close to your body and not getting out too far. And using your backside, using your legs and using your core and making sure that you get rotation is important to driving the baseball.
How important is it that you get those fundamentals down early of hitting?
I think it's really important. I mean, I've tried to show my son tapes one after another, have him watch games and watch what guys do and try to use little key words. And he's 10 years old just so he understands. And it's definitely helped him. You're
the manager of the New York Yankees. Does he listen to you, or is it a typical son that's, I don't know if I want to listen to my parents?
He does, but I don't say a lot. I have a few key phrases that I'll use with him that he understands, but I let him play because I think they can become paralyzed by trying to think too much about their mechanics, just like a big league player. So for the most part, I just let him play.
Joe, thanks for the time. That's going to do it for this edition of WB Mason Presents The Joe Girardi Show.